Okay, good morning from Merion. This is a 9 that I know has caused a lot of you a few problems, so we're gonna do we'll do talk through on it today. Now, we do a little bit of math here. I'm not sure whether this is a good wind or a diabolical wind. I think it's a good wind. 14 times 282 divided by about 180. 21 times 0.7. 15 or so yards. Yeah, that's actually quite a nice wind. And let's just get ourselves lined up here. This is more of a headwind than a crosswind going this way. So it's going to play maybe sort of 18, 19 yards of wind that way, maybe about 12 or so. All right. It's rather be a bit left. It's apart from the left's not bad. So we can hit this pretty much. It's not far from full tilt, full back. Oh, it misses the tree. Should go left of the tree and around it. That's pretty good. We'll take that result. Wasn't the finest strike in the world, but I got away with it. And tournament 12s today. That I like 12s because the mathematics is very straightforward. Just divide everything by 2/3. Am I playing enough break? I think we are. Don't ding it to the right, but I've hit it a bit late. I've hit it late. Oh, don't ding late. Wake up, it's a beautiful morning. Ay. Oh well. Do as I say, not as I do. I think that was rubbish, wasn't it? Dear God. To make sure we don't reach the water here. I mean, you can go over here if you wish, but I mean, I just think you're bringing stuff into play that doesn't need to be there for no good reason. If you get over here, it's actually quite a difficult shot to this pin. Over here is fine. You sort of coming out of 40, 50 rough, but it's not worth it. You're going to end up hitting balls in the water and things that you just don't need to do. 200 and it's going to play about 250. That should do. Well, that won't go too far. No point going any closer to the water than that. Just in case you get a bit of a flyer. It does happen. It is about maybe 89 or so. About there. Late again. When I start to hit the ding, we might be dangerous. Okay, take a bit off this. God, still late again. 920 over 225.4. So wind and elevation roughly cancel each other out here. We're going to try and roll this one up the slope. There's a chance it'll dig in and it'll stop short. That's not the end of the world. Managed to hit one early. About time. But that is a terrible putt. You're far better down in this kind of area. If you can hold it on the green and keep it there, it tends to roll off the front of the green. It's very difficult. Very difficult to hold this on either pin, to be honest. 7.5 minus 2.7 would be 4.8. Oh my goodness gracious. Now, there's two ways of playing these. Obviously, there's the ram effort and take some breakout, but this is Merion, and you can see that it's just going absolutely everywhere. There's bobbles and bumps and swerves. That's just the way the greens are at Merion. It's not a bug in the game, it's just the way they are. And so it's far wiser to accept that you might just miss this putt through no real fault of your own, just because that's what happens, and just lag it down there, hope it drops in. Phew. I got away with that. I was late again. Late again on that. Right, punch shots time. 12, that is about a 50 or 60% wind, right? 50. So it's going to play about a 7 headwind. We got this mapped. You know what this is? It's flat. There's a 7 headwind. So 12 times 134 over 225. It doesn't move as much in the wind. 7 to the right. Will be full, so it's going to be somewhere like that is my guess. And then we just have to hit the bloomin' ding. There you go. Easy shot. It just saves you having to mess around with the ball spinning violently. Just get them mapped and away you go. Easy too. On a whole little cause, many people much pain. What's this going to do? Right hand pin. It'll want to take a bounce forward, downwind, uphill, like that. The wind impact is going to be about probably about 4. It's 4 wind and maybe a little bit more across. There we go. So 167 plus 8 would get us to 175. But it's not going to play like that. It's going to take a hop forward. So it's probably going to play closer to 172, which is about there. Worst case scenario, a little bit short. Yeah. 5 yards a roll. It's not a bad putt from here. Better from below the hole, but it's not a bad putt from here. Boom. Okay, another menace of a hole. Right hand pin today. Right hand pin. I'm not used to this one on the right hand side, but it's a heck of a lot easier than the left hand one. 9 times 87 over 225 is 3.5. And going uphill, downwind, that's the elevation's probably going to account for 5. 88.5. Okay. Move it slightly that way. Goodness, that'd be dangerous if I could get anywhere near the ding. I'm completely uncoordinated this morning. This is a big bendy one. This needs a bit of care. Orange slope tells a tale. It's all orange. It's all a big slope, this one. That makes me wonder if I'm playing enough break here. Yeah. Right, this is one that catches a lot of you out, and the reason is you all go greedy, you all aim up here and get yourself into all sorts of trouble. You get yourself into 40-50 here or here, and you can't reach the green, and then sometimes you try and you end up making 5s and 6s, and it's not worth it. I mean, if you can get here, it kind of makes it a little bit easier, but honestly, it's not really worth it. It's not really worth it. This goes 305. With that wind, it'll go about 320. With that downslope, it'll go about 328. That's going to put me around about here. So I can play to here, or I can play to here. A big wide fairway with nothing to go for. I mean, I would advise you 95% of the time just to hit it there. I just don't see any benefit unless you're really convinced in your ability to hit the ding and put it on the fairway. Yeah, I just don't see it. That said, I'm going to go over here because we're going to hit the ding this time. Yeah, that one's fine. And then that leaves me 102, which is a nice distance. But I mean, do please consider that line short. You're only hitting a 9-iron from down there. It's you're never going to make more than 4. So if you struggle on making bogeys, just don't do what I did there. Just hit it down the fairway with whatever club you feel comfortable hitting it down there with, and away you go. So this one, it's going to be about 4 or so across, and maybe 3 down. That's 2 for elevation, 5, 97, which is about there. It'll spin back a little bit if we go a bit too big, so... Oh, God, hit the ding, what are you doing? Oh, my goodness. That was so bad. It's another typical Merion putt. It wobbles and bobbles around a bit. This is the bit here that I'm a little bit concerned about, so we're going to take a little look at that. You can see it just comes off a brown bit, which indicates a more severe slope. I'm going to learn anything from that. Let's watch the dot moving through there. Doesn't seem to be doing anything particularly special, right? It's just that that bit's moving a bit. A little bit faster than the rest. It's not a huge break. It's not a huge break. Okay. I think we just hit it there, about there. Damn. I got punished eventually for terrible approach play. Deserved to make a pass somewhere. There's so many really big missed dings. Only so lonely scrambling can catch up with you now. That is a kindly wind. That's a very kindly wind. It's much easier if you're able to hit a 3-iron into this one. I mean, much easier than if you're hitting 3 wood to get it close. 248 times 8 over 225, 8.8, we'll call that 9. 239, and then probably 6 for the elevation, 233. That is going to get me to about there. I just got to aim far enough left. There we go. Maybe not quite that much. There we go. Close enough to the ding to get away with that one. You'll notice I picked a spot just above a dimple there on the ball. We're picking a spot quite precisely on the ball. It makes a big difference how much spin you're putting on the shot. I mean, you can easily, the difference between a couple of dimples can easily be 5 yards. So you're sort of picking a spot that you're just comfortable with on the ball. You know how far that goes, and just fire away. This, from memory, has a gigantic dive on it. Yeah, you can see it here, right? You can see what's happening. We're going up a steep slope, and it's turning sort of viciously as well. And the trick is just understanding how much of those dot movements is the upslope and how much is the cross break. And then remembering that we're going to be giving this a good whack as well. I think we need to hit this about 8 and a bit. That's a good 2 on there. We're delighted with a 2 on that horrible hole. And then, what do we do on this one? There's 2 ways you can play this. I'm going to show you a little trick shot here. A little bit of topspin. See that big? There's a big slope there. You can just catch that and sort of kick forward a little bit. It's more useful into the wind, but I figured it wouldn't do any harm to hit it here. And then this one, this is again an awkward distance. Generally always is on this one. It has 230 over 190 here. It's coming in a bit lower. Now we want to land this around the top here. We're going to land it about here, and it'll take 1 hop forward. It's got to then, we've got to sort of pray that it makes it over the top of this hill. Once it makes it down there, it comes in very close. Now there's no point trying to land it all the way back. It'll simply shoot to the fringe, or even in the rough through the back, and you'll have very little chance of making the birdie. So we're going to hit it up there, 220-ish. There we go. No heartbeat, but that's not a great surprise here. Let's see what this does when it hits the floor. Oh no! Oh, you are jesting me. You are jesting me. It never does that. Oh, it's got stuck on the top of that bloody ridge. Oh, it never does that. Honestly, every single time that'll shoot forwards, and we've landed on a leprechaun's head or something. Oh dear, dear, dear. That should have been really quite tight. I can't believe that. Okay, well, we got our work cut out then. We have got our work cut out. It's a good example of when I would use the green view. You've got dots moving everywhere. It's kind of hard to judge things. Sometimes worth putting the pin back in so you can see it clearly here. You look at this, it sort of just gives you a feel for what you're trying to do. You can see the dots moving down here. You can see that you're sort of wanting to hit it up to here and just let it drift down. You see what this arrow's doing here, right? So you sort of want to, it's giving you a feel for what you're trying to achieve. Now I'll just put that there as a marker. And yeah, how does that feel? Does that, for me, I mean, people count dots and stuff like this. For me, I cannot see any benefit in this. They're all moving at different speeds anyway. Even if you had a perfect formula, they're all moving at different speeds. How do you calibrate the stuff at the end versus the start? I don't know even how you would try to put that into a formula. So I sort of try to see the break using whatever tools I've got at my disposal. Now I think that we probably even need to aim a little further over because it'll start to sort of drop onto that line. So I think we hit it about there, and a little bit of off ding should just help hold it up. There you go, easy. And that is probably the worst 26 you will ever see. I had so many mistakes in there. That was just phenomenal. I must have made sort of 5 or 6 bad mistakes. And a good putt at the last. Always good to finish 2-3 at Merion. So yeah, the fearsome Merion. Not so fearsome if you know what you're doing. Just rewards you for playing sensible. Oh, look at those things. I'm going to make myself an extra cup of coffee, guys. That's clearly indicating one ding, 18 late. That's quite spectacular. Even for me, I'm often a little late on average. On the iPad at least. Not so much the other platforms, but the iPad certainly. Anyway, that clearly tells me I need an extra cup of coffee. And anyway, I hope that is useful. Thanks for watching.